This is why we can't have nice things. Hey everyone, it's Carly. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be popular books that I haven't read. So basically, all popular books that you hear about on booktube that I haven't read, basically. And I have a list of 15 books here on my phone that I'm going to be reading off of, books that I haven't read, basically, that I would like to get to, maybe, at least some of them. And yeah, let's just get started. So the first one I'm going to start with is a series, and a popular series that I haven't read is the Twilight series. I actually own all the books. They're all right here. I own all of them. Haven't read them yet. I do plan to get to the series though eventually at some point, so I'm really excited when I finally get to it. I do like series. Series tend to intimidate me, and Twilight is one of those really popular series that I feel like everybody in the world has read, and I'm not one of them. But I'm really excited to, eventually. I have seen all the movies, and I loved all the movies, and I hope the books are just as good, so that's the first one. Next one I haven't read is another series, and it's The City of Bones by Cassandra Clare series. And I have the first book. It's somewhere up here, blocked by all my stuff, but I have the first book in the City of Bones series, and I do plan to read it eventually, but again, I'm not really a fantasy or sci-fi person, so it's gonna take me a little while to get into. Again, I'm kind of in like a book slump right now, so I'm trying to get myself out of it by reading graphic novels. So yeah, it's one of the series that I would like to get to as well, but I just haven't got to yet. Third is the Dark Artificial series. I really don't know how to pronounce it. Again, I have the first book, Lady Midnight, up there by Cassandra Clare, and I do plan to get to it eventually. Again, I just don't really read fantasy or sci-fi, so it's gonna take me a little bit of time to get into, but I do plan on reading it at some point. The fourth series that I haven't read is the Raven Boy cycles, and I probably won't ever read those. I just don't know. I would like to be into that kind of stuff, like sci-fi, fantasy, all that kind of stuff, different kind of worlds, something that's not romance, contemporary, all that kind of stuff, but it's just my comfort zone, and I just don't think I'd see myself reading that. It doesn't sound intriguing to me. I mean, if it's your favorite book, that's good for you, because I know it's a really popular series. Again, it's the whole purpose of this video, but like I just don't think I'm gonna end up reading it. Maybe I will at some point in the future, but as of right now, that's just gonna be another popular series that I haven't read. The fifth one is gonna shock a bunch of y'all, and that is the Shatter Me series. I haven't read any of the Shatter Me series books, so yeah, I have the first book on my TBR list of books that I would like to read. Again, it's not really my cup of tea, but I see everybody talking about it, and so it's kind of intimidating and really makes me want to read it because everyone talks about it, so I kind of want to be the one to understand what's the hype, you know? So I maybe will eventually get to that. Again, it's just another long series that I have yet to get to. Sixth book is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I actually do own this book, and I just have yet to read it, but I do plan on reading it soon. It's just, Taylor's books are so intimidating because everybody loves her books, so it's just so intimidating, and you're afraid that you're not going to feel the same way. Because right now I'm currently reading The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but I am like not reading it because I'm terrified, because everybody loves those books, and I'm afraid that my opinion might differ, or I might not understand it like everybody else does. So it's just kind of like an intimidating kind of book that I have yet to read, and I'm kind of putting it off just because I'm too terrified to. So eventually I will end up reading Daisy Jones and the Six, because I heard it's like a really great book, so I really do want to be able to understand the hype and to be able to relate. So the seventh book that I haven't read, that's a really popular book, is Everything by Nicola Yoon, I'm pretty sure. And I have the book. I recently bought it from my thrift store like a few months ago, and it's like all the way up there. I do want to read that. Again, it's a very hyped up book, and I'm kind of afraid, and again, I haven't made the time for it. I really should just make the time and just read all the popular books. It should just be another video of mine just reading all popular books. I just gave myself a video idea, which is probably really dangerous of me to spend more money on books, so great, yay me. The eighth book is on the come up, and I forget who this author is, but I know it. I want to say Angie. Don't kill me if I got that wrong. But yeah, I have not read On the Come Up, but I haven't read her other book, which The Hate You Give, I think it is. I haven't read that one either, and I would love to, because I want to read more diverse books, and those books are very diverse, and I just haven't had the chance to reach out and just get those books, just because they're very popular, they're really expensive, and I don't really want to spend that much money on books. So if I can, I'll maybe buy it from Amazon used, or even if I can see find it from my thrift store, because it's not like I don't want to read it. I do want to, it's just I don't have the time. There's so many books that I want to read, literally my whole entire shelf I still need to read. So it's just a matter of fact of making time for it, but I will eventually get to those books, I believe. So number 9 is The Cruel Prince. I think the entire series, I believe it's a series or it's a trilogy at some, I don't know, it's something. But I have not read The Cruel Prince or The Wicked King. I think it's the newest one, but I haven't read it, and I probably never will read these because, again, just not my cup of tea. Nothing against these books, nothing against the authors, just I don't think I'm ever going to read it. Number 10 is The Gilded Wolves, and again, this is a really big popular book. that has recently taken over Twitter, and a lot of people have had different opinions on it, a lot of negative ones, a lot of popular ones, and I just don't think it'll be my cup of tea. Again, it's just what I like and based on that. So, but I don't think I'd ever really read that. I mean, maybe I'll give it a chance, because again, knowing that the book is really popular makes you kind of want to read it and be able to fit in and understand what everyone else is talking about. So maybe. Number 11 is A Curse so Dark and Lonely, which I do want to read this book. I actually have wanted to read this book, and I think my library might even have it. I know that my library has Gilded Wolves, but I do want to read this. Again, it goes with another video that I have planned at some point in the future. All my videos keep getting pushed back because I just have so much reading to do, and so I do want to read that. I definitely do, because that one sounds really interesting. Number 12 is Children of Blood and Bone, another very big, diverse book. Again, I probably won't read it. It's just not my kind of book, and I hate that because I really want to read very diversely, but if I want to read diversely, I want to read it with books that I actually will enjoy and not just have to force myself to read. And I think this is one of the books that I might not understand. Again, you guys can try and change my mind with these books. Go ahead. Like, I'm very open-minded to reading all these books, so if you guys can give me like opinions and like just try and persuade me to read these books and maybe pick them up and give them a try, go ahead, because I'm very open to doing so. There's a reason I haven't read any of these books. It's either because I don't know them or it's just not my cup of tea. So if you guys can easily like persuade me into actually reading these, then that'd be great. Go ahead, because I would love to be able to read all these books if I could, and if they gave me a good reason to. Number 13 is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens. I haven't read that book. I got my friend that book because she wanted to read it and she read it, and I have not yet read it. And I've seen the movie. I like the movie, but I have yet to read it. And I will eventually. I'll probably take her copy and read it for a little bit. But again, it's just one of those books that I have had on my TBR shelf for the longest time that I just haven't got around to reading. And I know I could probably pick it up from my thrift store too. So, and I can easily find like very used copies that are pretty cheap. So I just have so much reading that I need to do. So that's my reasoning. And then number 14 is Sadie by Courtney Summers, I think it is. I'm just winging it with these author names if I know them. But I do have this book on my TBR. It's on my Amazon wish list. Like, I really want to read this book. It sounds so good. And it's like a mystery, kind of like a criminal detective kind of story. Again, kind of just winging that. But I've heard so many great things about it. It kind of just hit booktube like the past few months. It's been very, very popular and very hyped. So it's another book that I really want to read and just have to make time to read. And then lastly, number 15 is Truly Devious. Again, this is another like criminal crime book, and it definitely is different from what I would read, but I think I would actually be able to get into it, and I think it'd be really interesting to read. And I know there's a second book out now. I think it's a trilogy as of right now, but I do want to get into reading that because I've heard so many great things about it. I've heard also different opinions on it, so I just kind of want to go between those opinions and just see how I feel about that book. And that's basically that. But I'm pretty sure I got this video idea from Micah August. I'm sorry, girl. I love you. She's the sweetest little bean ever. She is so sweet and she's one of my biggest supporters, honestly, and I love her. I saw that she posted this video when I went to click on her channel the other day. I was like, oh, this looks like a good idea to do. So I just took a screenshot of it, and so here you go. Go check out her channel. I'll leave her channel again up in the cards. You have to go check her out. She's a really sweet girl. And that's basically where I got this video idea from. And again, if you guys try and persuade me to read these books, I'm begging you. Because I want a reason to read these books. Like, they're popular for a reason, you know? So I want to see what the hype is about. And if you guys like to see me do another part to this, like other popular books that I haven't read, or even just like a popular series that I haven't read, or whatever it may be, just let me know down below in the comments, because I would love to hear your feedback on this video. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a big like and subscribe down below to join the family, and I will see you on my next video. Bye guys.